So hello and welcome back to this. Fairly often I'm asked how I get my nails so long and strong. So like the long-winded person I am, I'm gonna make a whole video on it. So if you're new here, I mean, take it or leave it. Anyway, getting into the video. The first is going to be 3 things that you can do that is going to overall improve the health and the length of your nails on a longer term scale. And the first thing is eat your greens, people. Now, I know a lot of you are already questioning me. You're already feeling like this is very reminiscent of stay hydrated. Like, this is 2020. Do you know how many times I've been told to drink water? I am drowning. I have always been able to get my nails to grow really long, but I would always have like 7 really long nails, like 7 beautiful nails. A good week, 8 nails, and then just 3 short little busted ones. The one thing that I have changed recently and has found made a huge impact is I have started drinking. You also could just eat them if you're a normal person. Every single day, I drink this smoothie. Put in 2 heads of romaine lettuce, some dark leafy green, like either spinach or kale, what I use a lot of the time, along with a pear, an apple, a banana, a whole lemon, and some coconut water. Since making sure that I have been getting in an adequate amount of greens every day, these babies don't break. Friends! I have been drinking this smoothie for like 6 months, and that's literally the only thing that I have changed. My life is not exciting. And I have been drinking this for months, and since then have only had 2 little nails break the whole time, and both times it was because I was trying to like open something or do something stupid. Like, I know the cause and effect. The cause is me. As for the next thing, what I really recommend using, and this is a lot easier, you don't have to eat anything, don't eat this, is using a cuticle oil. I cannot stress this enough. This stuff is magic, it's beautiful. You can get it at Target, Sally's, Ulta. It's not expensive. I think these are like $5, maybe $6 depending on where you're getting it from. Pop a drop on each nail, rub it in, let it soak for a couple minutes, and then I like to finish everything off with a really nice lotion. But the reason why these are so good is because it's going to help keep, like, it's just full of fancy oils. Probably not even that fancy. How about where you at? I try to use this every night. Realistically, this is probably an every other occurrence. Again, if you are a better person than me, great. I would just work this into your night routine if you're not already using one. And again, just because it's gonna be so hydrating, that's gonna help protect your nail and keep them in better shape in the long run. And I have even heard that using this consistently will help like promote circulation in your fingers, especially when you're like rubbing it in, which also helps promote nail growth. That last one, I have no idea to attest to, but I can tell you my nails are so much happier and my hands feel so much better from using this consistently. And the final thing that I do on a long-term scale to keep my nails in better shape that isn't, again, just super obvious, like drink water, is I only use shellac polish. This might sound counterproductive to some of you because obviously just letting your nails grow, using no polish would probably be better. But I like to live, okay? I would say maybe for 7 years now, the only thing that I have used on my hands is shellac. I am someone who multi-leveled cannot handle chipped polish. Like, if you have a chipped nail polish and you run your hands through your hair, and also, I am someone that will pick at it. The cycle of life is that I find it disgusting, and so I want it off, and I just don't have the self-control to not just pick it off myself. Which, when you do, will pull the enamel and all the stuff off your nail and really damage your nails and is bad. So, if you are someone that bites their nails, that picks at them, shellac, my friends. Shellac, if you don't know anything about it, it does require using a UV light. So there is some concern there. And fun fact, if you are someone that is concerned with using a UV light, what I think is a good tip is get a little pair of gloves like this, just cut the fingers off of the gloves and then put your hand in them. Do you like how I'm showing this for you? Put your hand in them before you paint your polish. And when you are putting your hand in the UV light, it at least then gives you a little bit of a layer in between the light and your skin. So I just thought that was a good idea. Fun fact, just sharing. Now, I realized getting shellac polish done can get very, very pricey, which is why I just have the machine. These machines don't cost nearly as much as you think that they might. Literally, I've had this thing for 7 years. It was a gift from a little ex-boyfriend's. God bless that man. He's out there somewhere being nice to someone, I'm sure. Thank you. Growing up, like my mom, we did not get our nails done. You did not pay for that. That was something that if you wanted done, you did it in the house. I literally can count the number of times in my entire existence I have been to a nail salon on 2 hands. But depending on the brand of polish that you're using, your nails at home literally can last you up to like 3 weeks. Like I have some polishes, like some of my favorite polishes, when I remove them, it is never because they've chipped or there's some kind of issue. It's because they've been on my nails for too long that I'm like, these are grown out and I just want a different color. As you can see, I've been through a lot of polishes. I've tried a lot of things. And it's important to know that not all polishes are the same. This, not to like name call right now, but I need to just throw this out. Honestly, like I love this color and that is why I end up keeping it. It chips in like 4 days, which is just unheard of. It's just, okay, we're throwing this out literally right now. We're gonna do it together. Goodbye. But my current favorite brands. Okay, folks, we're now at the honorable mention, today's guest, Nail Addict. Even if you don't use shellac polish, they have a ton of just like regular polishes also. It doesn't need to be shellac or anything, but friends, I have this on right now. Look at that shine, look at that color. Full disclosure here, these were sent to me, but all the opinions are my own. First of all, look at these colors. Oh my God. And this is what they actually look like on your hands. Like this blue, look at this, it's so pretty. Secondly, this green, which I recently tried out, and you've actually seen, if you've watched any of my latest videos, I had this on my hand. I love you, my little alien fingers. Like the neons, do you know how hard it is to get a good neon that actually is neon? Very difficult. So not only are the colors beautiful, but they are also, all of their products are vegan, they are cruelty free, so you can feel good about what you are putting on your hands, which I think is really important, especially if you are doing this a lot more often than most. These last so long. I have not had a this has been on for a while. Like I want to try the other colors. This yellow excites me, friends. And they just restocked, so they have a ton of other colors, especially for fall coming up, and I'm just saying. It has now been like a month since I got these because the polish lasts so long. I don't want to take this off, but also I wanted to try them all for the video, and like, friends, it's so good. And best of all, I have a code for you. If you want to try them out, again, I'm not being sponsored, I'm not being told to say any of this, I'm just letting you know that I have a 55% off coupon down below, or just right here is Lauren055, and it will get you 55% off. If you're considering shellac, they do have a shellac machine available. I've not personally tried that one, but I really love the polish, so I would assume they'd know what they were doing. So this video is getting very long and I'm not even done. So I'm going to have all of that information down below. But next I'm going to show you how I actually do my nails, starting with how I remove my shellac polish at home. So you're going to want a couple of supplies for this. The first is a pretty big old coarser nail file. I like to just rub this all along the nail. You can see I'm kind of moving my hand here so that I can get into all the nooks and crannies. And by doing this, you are breaking the seal on the polish. Now that your hands are looking more dusty than normal, you're going to want to grab a couple of cotton rounds. You can use like cotton poofs for this, but personally I like the rounds as they are a little bit thinner and more easy to manage. And with these, I like to go ahead and cut them into quarters. For polish remover, I would recommend getting like a gel or shellac specific polish remover, as I just find that these usually come off easier and work better. But overall, really what you need is you want to make sure you are using acetone. And the last thing that you're going to want is, I like to use these little finger condoms if you oh, that got gross quick, but these are going to come in handy in a second, as you will see. If you do not have these, if you're not removing your polish a lot at home to the point that you want to get reusable ones, you also could just use aluminum foil. But once you have all of your supplies, you are going to want to take each little corner of your cotton round, and I just like to put this right on the cap and just soak it really well. Next, what you're going to want to do is put this right over your nail and then wrap it up tightly. So that's where these little caps come in handy, because Again, they are reusable, but they make sure that the polish remover is soaking right on the nail. Now, the reason why I like to cut these into smaller pieces is A, it's gonna help like keep, like there's not very much room in there, but also the reason why I like this is because you don't need like straight up acetone on your fingers. So I think it's important to remember that there is a difference between your nails and your skin. And while you do want to make sure you are soaking the polish off correctly, you don't need to have like the back of your fingers touching this or even the sides. As much as you can focus this on the nail itself, the better off you're going to be. But once all of your fingers are covered here, you're gonna wanna wait between maybe like 5 and 10 minutes, just depending on the polish that you're using along with the remover. Once you feel like things have soaked appropriately, you're going to want to grab some kind of wooden stick. So I literally just got these, again, I'll have them linked below, off of Amazon, or you can usually find them in a craft store, but they're just these little tiny wooden sticks that kind of have a pointy end on each side. But again, if you do not have these and this is kind of a one-off thing that you're doing, I've also just used chopsticks and these work as well. And the reason why you want this is going to serve as your pusher. So if you take one of the polishes off, you can see by this point, your nail should look like actually decrepit. Like these are dying, the polish is coming up and like it's falling off in the weirdest of chunks. This is what you want it to look like. If it does not look like this, re-soak the cotton rounds if you need to and put that back on. I do not want you peeling off your polish in any way. But if your nail does look like this, where most of the polish is kind of coming off on its own anyway, you are just going to want to grab your little wooden stick of whatever variety you have and just gently kind of start pushing at the polish. So again, you are not ripping this off. You are not applying a ton of force, but you're kind of just gently like getting under there and like slightly scraping just to have everything peel off on its own. A lot of the time you'll see like a metal pusher out there that you can use, but I find that this will often scrape the nail and you don't want that again. So I find that these wooden ones are a lot more gentle, but still will get the job done really well. Look at me making a mess. You may find there's a couple little stragglers or one nail that just like hated you, and all that you want to do is again just re-soak the cotton rounds and apply these to the part of the nail that the polish is on. If you are really concerned about your nails, you can cut these cotton rounds even smaller, because again, you don't even need this touching your natural nail at this point. If the polish is off, you don't need this touching it. I just am lazy, so I just put it back on for a little bit. But this round should not take you nearly as long. I usually just have this on for a couple of more minutes before I again go back in with my pusher, and then you should have polish free but still healthy, proper looking nails. So again, if you are removing this properly, your nails should not feel super thin or brittle or abused. There should not be lines, there should not be enamel coming off. This is how you want them to look. So personally, for nail care, I like to give a good week between polish changes. Obviously, sometimes if I have like an event, I might only be giving it a day in between, but I think at least giving your nails a day in between just to like rest and breathe is a lot better for them. So once all the polish is removed, I will go in often just with the same file and kind of just clean things up a little bit, but I'm not doing any really heavy maintenance right now. Instead, I'm just going to give them a little bit of moisture and love by applying again my cuticle oil, smothering my hands in lotion, and then just giving them again at least a couple days. I really think will do your nails better versus immediately applying another polish coat. But when it comes to actually applying the polish, this is really simple, really straightforward. I am not the greatest at painting my nails, but I mean, people compliment them, so it's fine. But when I do go to paint my nails, typically by this point between the like 2 weeks that the polish was on them and then usually the week that I give them, they have grown out pretty intensely. So what I like to do is actually trim them down a little bit. Now, obviously this is totally personal preference on how long you like your nails, but how I do this is I like to take a pair of just fingernail clippers, and on each edge of my nail, I will angle the clippers in a little bit so that I'm kind of making a point with both sides. So I'm removing a little bit of my nail on the left, a little bit of my nail on the right, and you could make this even more exaggerated if you were better at shaping than me. I'm really not very good at it. But I find by doing this and then finishing it off with a nail file, this shape just helps my nails grow out a lot more actually as well. When I've had more of a square nail shape in the past, I find for whatever reason, it's a lot easier for me to lose like just the whole end of my nail. Whereas with this shape, I don't find nearly as much breakage. And also something to keep in mind is if you are ever using a file on your nail, don't do like the TV back and forth glare. You can still glare, but make sure that you are only dragging the nail file in one direction. Once I feel like I'm pretty happy with the length and shape of all of my nails, I do like to every so often, if my cuticles are looking a little questionable, just use this cuticle remover. This one's from Sally Hansen, which again, it is very affordable. You can get it at Target. I just put a drop of it on each of my nails, and then with the bottle itself, kind of move this around and leave it on for a few seconds, and this just eats your cuticles right up. And then the last step in preparing for polish is I like to go ahead and wash my hands so that all of the like dust and junk is off of them, and then take a little bit of just straight up rubbing alcohol onto, again, just a cotton round or whatever you have laying around, and put this all over my nail just to make sure everything really is completely clean and dry, as this is going to help the polish adhere better. So like I said, I really have been enjoying every single polish that I have gotten from Nail Addict. So I did get a base coat and a top coat from them as well, and applying the polish, there's really no specific trick other than like regular nail polish, except that you do want to try and do as thin of layers as possible. But you just paint this on, and in between each layer you just stick your hand into the machine and cure it. And what's nice about Nail Addict is they do tell you the time that you want to use for each polish specifically on their website. So you never have to guess or wonder if it's too short or too long, which I have done with polishes in the past. So I'm just saying that this is very convenient, but you know what is more convenient is their top coat is a no wipe top coat. So literally every other shellac polish that I have used in the past, when you put a top coat on, that your nails will still be left feeling kind of like sticky and gross, and all it is that there's just like a coating on top that you need to remove, which you can do, and I've done in the past, by again just putting some rubbing alcohol onto a cotton round and cleaning them off. I think in an old vlog somewhere I didn't have rubbing alcohol and we just used vodka or something, but so there's an option too. But what's nice about the Nail Addict top coat is that this is a no wipe top coat, so you don't have to use anything. Once you're done curing your nails, they are ready to go. They are hard, there's no waiting for dry time. It's just like pristine, ready. Nails take like 10 minutes and it's wonderful, friends. And that is everything, folks. I know this was a lot of information and a little bit of blabbering. Welcome to my brand. But I hope that this was helpful for you. I do think it's always worth keeping in mind that everyone's body, like literally genetics play such a big part in stuff sometimes. So while I hope this was all really helpful for you and you've got something from it, what works for me might not work for you. So if you have any hot tips on keeping your nails longer and stronger, or the opposite really, I would love to hear from you. Please share with the folks at home down below. And also just a big thank you again to Nail Addict for sending me all of these beautiful colors. Go do something with your nails or your hands, like putting lotion on. Check that out for the day. Try out something new, always exciting, and have a nice day. Bye, thank you for watching.